typos or anything you see, please let me know.
I have a couple, under public comments, the second paragraph, should that be presented maybe in June?
Yeah, Judge, sorry.
Okay. And then, this is just a point of order, more or less. I've noticed on every paragraph, when you do a motion, a second, you always type in motion carries or something to that effect. There's a couple paragraphs that it wasn't, I don't know that it needs to be, but it would just create uniformity.
Yeah,
So the third paragraph from the bottom, which starts with Mark presents fiscal year 23 audit,
yes,
if need be, that needs a motion carries.
yes, I will add that.
Okay, and then on the next back page, the third paragraph from the bottom of the current fiscal year audit engagement was presented,
Okay.
and then the adjourn sentence.
Motion carries.
You have motion.
Yeah, well. Okay, I will definitely add those,
Okay.
so,
Correction on the tax rate discussion. Danny Lane had a meeting, I was at that meeting. Rita Stewart was at that meeting. Judge Boyle, the magistrate. I think we reported on the meeting.
okay, so Danny Lay reported on meeting Rita Stewart had with last, to finish the rest of that sentence. Sorry, I was not here for that portion, so I will get that amended.
That's fine.
Danny Lay reported on meeting that Rita Stewart had last Friday and discussed lowering the tax rate.
Right.
Tax rate, and Rita, who did you meet with, so I can add that in there?
It says Trilly and two magistrates.
Oh, the rest of the sentence, I just didn't finish reading them, okay. Perfect, and is that accurate, Trilogy two magistrates and then you, Ms. Rita?
They got a second, judge.
Yeah, yeah.
I will amend that, and I will have the amendment at next meeting for us to review. Danielle presented meeting minutes. Amendments suggested. Will amend and resubmit at next meeting.
I'm going to go ahead and make the motion to approve the minutes with the changes, corrections that were made.
Second changes, Trilly, second. All those in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. I'm gonna put that in there before I forget. Sorry. Maybe. I don't know how to operate this computer. Okay. Got call to order, got review of the minute. We can move on to treasurer's report until we get Spencer here.
So Spencer is not here tonight, and that's partly my fault. It's not on him at all. And the reason why you guys don't have any handouts. So last month at the meeting, you probably read the minutes, you all voted to move a lot of money, mainly the CDs and the money market account, to a different place that was getting a much higher CD interest rates, which was a good thing. In doing so, we have to change everything over into what's online, and we have to have pretty much copies of everything. So that has not all taken place in QBO yet. Now, the money is still all there. There's no promise for anything with the money. And, you know, we can still run a statement of financial position, which shows all the funds that you guys have, but because we don't yet have everything into QBO, we can't, Mark cannot do reconciliations. So like the interest has not been added in. So with your permission, we can email those out to you. We should have those within the next couple of weeks off into QBO. And we can mail you guys out the reports and everything for reconciliations. Or you can stop on here if you have the package if you want. But all the money is still there, everything is still good. Mark is doing everything that he's supposed to be doing. It's not on Mark, it's just something that takes a little bit of time. And, so that's why you don't have reports in front of you tonight. But if anybody would like to know, I do have pulled out the statement of financial position. If you would like to know what those total numbers look like close to the fact, but we didn't want to pass out reports that are not accurate tonight. So, if you have any questions, Mark said, that he's like, I'll be on speed dial if you need anything, so if you have questions, I can take the questions and get back to you, or we can find answers.
Spencer, you are not taking the duties as a teacher.
Where are we at?
We are finishing, essentially, we made some amendments to the, minutes from last week, or we made an amendment for the report from this time. And then move to accept that with those changes, and then the treasurer's report Rita just presented. We haven't yet been able to move all those transfers we voted on last meeting all the way over. And so, that's why we don't have the treasurer's report, and we want to halfway have the report in front of us. So when that is finished, she will email or mail those out to us in the next coming weeks before the next meeting. As long as we're.
I wanted to bring a few things to your all's attention from the last meeting. It's, I think, unfortunate that we get a whole stack of papers that you're asked to approve the treasurer's report, and then 10 or 15 minutes later, set the tax rate. That's a little faster than I can think. Mark did an excellent job. I wanted to compliment him in person tonight. His report was excellent. Notations were very much helpful for him. Starting with page 1, our total KCO bonds was listed at just a little over $3 million, $3,065,000. And that is most of our long-term debt. There's some other incidentals gives us $3,400,073, $473,000 for long-term liabilities. But still, we got $2.5 million in the money market, drawn over 5%, to be compounded for the next 5 years before it's eligible for payoff. So essentially, we have all the construction paid for. The interest income over 5 years will more than top of the $3 million. So that, I thought that was pretty interesting. As far as their total income from last year, the way it broke down, distributing it, their total taxes were $2,744,000. 43% of that went to the money market. 57% of it paid for their operating expense. So out of the 9% tax rate on property, 57% paid operating costs, 43% went to money market. Now, I have no problem with putting money aside. Evidently, we paid for a good part of the construction out of cash on hand. That's a good call. And a lot of PGs have contingency funds that are at least 100% of their annual income. Yeah. So we've got a couple of years to build that. But I do think we owe the public some explanation as to how the money will be used, rather than just continually taxing. There's no explanation.
Oh, good question. Have you received our 5-year and 10-year plan, our plans of work, and those things that we do every year, we update and we give them to you? we did them at the CEC meeting. And we showed the 5-year and the 10-year plan, because that's what we do for that, to show the public. And to show that we have a plan for that money. It's not just random money for no reason. We have a plan, a 5 and a 10-year. It's up to date. I know that because we just had a county review and we looked at it a lot. So if you need another copy of that, please, I'd be glad to get that for you. If you have any questions about what we intend to use that money for, I'd be glad to walk you through that.
I wish we could get that printed in the newspaper.
I wish people read the newspaper.
Or anything.
Because we print stuff in the paper and only a small group of people see that. And I completely understand where you're coming from. You definitely would want to know where that money is going, right? That's why we make the 10-year plan.
And plus we revise it every year.
Yeah, every single year. Like, there's no way, well, there's plenty of ways people don't know this information, but it's definitely available. If there's a better way that we could get that out and you have some ideas, that would be great. Because we have that information and we'd be glad to share it.
My end statement is that we can never pass an opportunity to sell and promote our programs.
Could it be added to the newsletter in some way?
Sure.
Cumbersome that would be.
It would be a fun read. It would be a good bit of pages, but we could probably boil it down and maybe make it a little bit more user friendly. I don't see why not. The library did the same thing. Oh, yeah, I mean, the library did the same thing when people questioned their funding and them sitting on a lot of money and all of that, which isn't true. And they made an infographic that kind of explained their 10-year plan. So I don't mind to do something like that. That's actually a really good idea.
Better just take it to report to the people in the spring.
Why don't we? The report to the people that goes out every year. That tells like a big synopsis of the previous year. Here in extension for all the program areas. Yeah, we do that every year. We can put it on there. Yeah, that's a really good idea, Tyler.
If we can do it.
I think we can. I think we can make it less.
That thing you just said.
Report to the people.
Thank you. I got people.
And does that go to all newsletter lists? Or how's that?
Could, I think this report gets a copy.
Yeah, we usually send it to all of the commissioners, magistrates, any elected officials. We usually send that through email and snail mail. And yeah, pretty much just anywhere, copies out here. We take them to the library, has that nice little spot for community information. Yeah, oh, and it's online for, if that's easier to access. Leaving this in.
By the way, while I'm thinking of it, I heard nothing but good reports from the meeting last week. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been good.
You read it last week.
Well, thank you, I appreciate that.
So maybe I'll have word on. So,
Mark, you there? I just complimented you on the detail and notation, so forth, surrounding last month's report. You did an excellent job putting that together, a lot of information. We really need to know. Thank you.
y'all have anything else for Mark? Alright, thanks, Mark. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we do. Yeah, okay. Just wanted you to hear that. So when we get there, we get everything in QBO to the end of this month, it's been under here. And you're good. Okay, hey, thank you. All right, we'll get those out to you guys. So I just want to make sure you guys realize, I mean, Mark has been doing everything he's supposed to do, and the fact that we don't have all that uploaded yet in there is nothing to do with his performance whatsoever. So it is taking a little bit of time to get all that. We don't have everything in QBO yet, like all of the,
So it's just not been transferred from bank to bank?
we just don't have it all uploaded.
No, wait, a minute. The money's on transfer.
Okay, it's just not. Okay, okay.
We just have copies of each one to put into QuickBooks Online.
I got you.
So everything is fine, everything is
I
fine.
thought we already done all that.
Yes, yes.
We're getting you. Okay. Okay. Sounds good. And so I apologize for being late, and I think I couldn't really not overshot, so.
I'm sorry, no, it actually wasn't, if somebody was walking by, what year to this?
I guess we need a motion to approve the treasurer's report for this evening. Then we agree on that. We don't have a just.
We don't,
have official, so.
do we have that motion to pass on that agenda item, or can we just move on?
Won't say.
I like that, my specs.
You could always say that everything has not been,
I just said Rita will now report that one completed in the coming weeks.
just let them know that once we have everything. That's fine. Sounds good. If you guys are good with that.
All right, well, I guess moving on to the next bit of business, swearing in our new member.
Well, she's already sworn in.
Okay.
We did that at another location. Got you, got a certificate and everything.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, nice to meet you. Okay.
Thank you, Kim.
Do you know everybody?
No, I don't.
Why don't we do?
Special William.
Anyway.
Very well, team.
Rita Stewart.
Tyler Ray.
Thank you. Kim, is it please,
I spelled it wrong the first time.
I like it. I'm for like you eat with ER.
It's the only way I make you will.
So I'm sorry, which one last name?
Kernan, Kernen. If you are old kind of people here, remember the ABC grill down on Main Street? Yeah,
No, it's fair.
my husband's grandfather owned it and his dad ran it.
And your first name is.
Kim. What was their names? My grandfather was Big Tommy, and then Joe. And then the guy who ran it was Joe or Joe.
No problem.
Thank you.
Glad to have you. So yeah, so we're good on that. I guess the next item of business is, board chair. I don't know what we need to do as far as processes for that.
Seven weeks at nominations for board chair. And so exactly explain this to me, please.
So here's what happened. We had a board chair, Mr. Swan, who stepped down from our board 7 months ago. And as you know, your spot here has replaced his spot on our board. With him stepping down, our vice chair has been acting as our chair and secretary in his absence for a couple of times as well. So right now, we only have 2 of our 3 chairs. So at this point, we need as a board to elect a new chair. And then depending on how the trickle down goes, if one of us is elected into that position, and then re-electing those positions.
Your Spencer would accept it. I think he's done an excellent job.
Is that a nomination?
Yes.
I would accept, unless somebody else wants to. Okay.
I'll make a motion to second that.
Okay, you have a motion, on the floor, to, I guess, appoint Spencer Glenn as a board chair and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor of Spencer Glenn being the new board chair, signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carried. Congratulations, Spencer.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
So now we will need to elect the vice.
That's right. Yeah.
All right, floor is open for nominations for vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Danny Love.
All right,
I'll accept it for the rest of this year.
well, that's only 3 months.
So do
There you
you
go.
genuinely only,
Oh, very good, very good.
will have, do you genuinely accept it for 3 months or for the remainder of the
I
time?
would say whatever you need.
I think it would be pretty much in general.
Okay, and the motion, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, I have a motion, is there a second? I'll second. Okay. Have a motion and a second on the floor, to elect Danny Lay as the vice chair of the board. Is there any discussion?
You earned it. You've done your time.
Thank you.
All right, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Any opposed, nay? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Look at that. Congratulations, friends.
I'm sure y'all see the paychecks.
That's right.
Yeah, they're huge.
It's really.
Let's see, that's got everything else is current, right? So
Right, to
Your
yours.
secretary.
still secretary
Yeah.
and Mark's still treasurer, so
Yeah.
that's all positions filled, correct?
Yes, ma'am, sir.
Good deal. All right, well, thank you all for that. We'll move on then to unfinished business. We've got, an update on the horticulture position. Ms. Rita?
Yeah, so that position, as you all know, closed on 8/5. We have. Screening committee has met, gave us their input, and we are finishing up, interviews this week, so fingers crossed, hopefully something.
How many candidates?
There's so much, there's really.
Who was,
So we did have real good candidates.
who was on the screening committee? Because as the president of the CEC, I wasn't asked to be on that, so I'm interested to see who was in my place.
I think. Spencer was there. Jackson.
Ross, and then, Preston, Miles, right?
I think.
I would appreciate, being asked in the future, please. I would like to
We
have a say.
kind of talk about. Preston, I don't know, we try to pull from horticulture.
Sure, I understand that, but as a president of the CEC, I think I'm entitled to being on that screening committee.
I think that screening committee is outlined by policy, isn't
It
it?
is. It is. You have,
Chair of the advisory
right,
committee.
you have someone from the district board, someone from CDC, somebody from the program advisory councils. And then. Or interested.
In future, I'd like to be, I'm a slightly offended that I was not asked. I think having that title entitles me to being on a screening committee, and I need to make that statement known. Okay, I expect that to be corrected in the future.
So hopefully we'll have some good news. For that position.
Will we get to find out information after the fact, really?
As far as numbers.
How many apply? Yes.
We don't typically share that information. Not always.
This is, well, I'm not really concerned with names, but this is where I disagree with UK and there's not enough local
And I.
influence on that. But I'm voicing that concern with it.
And I appreciate that, and I take all of your all's thoughts and your input very seriously with that, so hopefully we'll have a good person be right back to you guys.
When will that be decided, did you say?
We're finishing interviews this week. And then, you know, it totally depends upon the individual, when he or she could possibly start, and.
I think I hired that person.
Definitely have a welcome reception in the office for that person.
My board doesn't have to hire that person. Okay.
UK.
Yeah, since they're the county employee.
Zoom interviews or the phone interview?
Finally.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Fast.
Yeah, finally.
Thank you for the horticulture update. Is that all you had?
That's pretty much all.
Okay. And then what about, I guess moving on to other positions that are currently vacant, county director position?
Yeah, so, that position closed on the 15th of this month, and, do have candidates for that. Let me share a date with you guys. So as you all know, part of that is we bring the candidates that are moving forward, we bring them in for presentations here at the office. Those presentations, invites will be sent out to CEC members, and of course, you all district board members will be part of that group. So I do have a date for you, and I will share with you, I know some of you had suggested that we try to have them later in the day. Last time it didn't work out, they were planned early in the day. And I did ask that, I did request that, however, the kind of the compromise is that we can't really do them later in the day due to other schedules, but they will be recorded. And anyone who can't be here that day, so I know a lot of y'all have to work, but you'll still be given the opportunity to provide feedback on those candidates. There will be like a period of time, watch the video presentation, tell us what you had for that, and no decisions were made until after, whatever date that is, that's set. So the date for the county presentations is September the 23rd. And we will start with the first presentation at 11:30. Registration will start at 11, so anytime between 11 and 11:30. We'll get everybody in, and we start the first presentation at 11:30, we'll do lunch at 12:30. And then we'll finish up in the afternoon.
And who did you say has to be there for that?
It's open, we're gonna send out invitations to our CEC members and as district board members, we can invitation as well. But, on our CEC, we have representatives from all of our different program and industry councils, and from all of our program areas, so hopefully we'll have a good group here that day.
And that group will,
So what will happen that day is we will have presentations.
okay, for each candidate.
It's just a listening session.
Okay,
They don't have a say.
Okay.
What are the presentations about?
So they will be given a list of certain questions ahead of time. And each of the candidates will address those questions during their presentation. You will have a chance, if you're here that day, if you're not here that day, you'll have a chance after the fight, to ask questions. We have a system in place for doing that, so like, if candidate number one is doing his or her presentation, you think of a question, there will be a system in place so that you'll have a chance to ask those questions.
and how long does this go? 11:30 is the first one, so what time?
Well, I don't know for sure right now, because we're still getting started, it's one how we move forward.
So it's already
But a
closed.
little bit
I
closer.
should know how many.
Oh, yeah, she can.
Well, we're doing interviews and stuff, to find a little bit more.
Okay.
So,
Does the presentation have any effect on UK's evaluation of county?
well, several.
In other words,
What if we don't like that?
It doesn't matter, they'll hire them anyways. That's what we're.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why we want to give.
What if we say, we don't think any of them meets the criteria, then what will you tell it?
The party line is that UK will take that under advice.
We will,
I'm understanding that correctly.
we will for sure.
Okay.
And that's the reason why the candidates are brought to the candidates. So that you can have a chance to give input and to ask questions.
Okay.
And we
curious.
take, honestly, we really do take that very seriously. What your thoughts are, if you have some, something, one way or the other.
What
I
if,
mean, it's not a done deal, I mean, it's when it money right down.
what if the board decided tonight to suspend the search?
I think if we were considering suspending the search, we should have not voted to renew the applicant pool at the last meeting like we did.
We did.
I think it was already posted.
I think that we had to approve to repost it though, because we had to state for how much longer we wanted it posted.
Not sure.
No, we had some.
Because I remember typing that note saying that we said it would be open for this many days or whatever. It might not have been last meeting, it might have been 2 meetings ago, but I remember typing that note.
I think was that for the temporary position?
I don't know, like, Dave, my brain's not functioning to
I
that
know
extent,
it's
but
I know at the last meeting, you all said that if we did not have candidates that qualify this time, that you definitely did not want to move it forward.
But we did have acceptable candidates to move forward this time, though.
This time we do.
Okay.
And last time, it gets really complicated, that's of you who deal with hiring. You can have good candidates, but due to circumstances beyond your control, whether people find other positions and they withdraw their applications. There's lots of different reasons, last time we didn't have the candidates to move forward. We had qualified candidates last time, but due to situations beyond our control, we didn't have a final candidate to present, but we. So this time, hopefully, fingers crossed, if everybody says as they are, we will have presenters to bring down.
So we just don't know how long that will last though. Is it, how long is their presentation? 15 minutes?
an hour, well, 45 minutes, 45 minutes
Per candidate.
per candidate,
Per candidate, so that could, yeah, that could
yeah,
be a while.
up to 45, thereabout. And that includes, let me back up just a little bit, that includes time for questions as well.
Okay, so it could be,
Could be
short, okay.
Could be 30. I honestly have not, this is my first county director that I've been part of the hiring process for. So I have not experienced that part of it yet. But that does include time for questions and answers too.
for reference, Shirley, the July one that was scheduled had 3 candidates presenting from 11:30 until 3:30.
Okay.
So I don't know if that helps, there may be more,
Yes.
maybe less, but approximately.
And you will get, when we send out an invitation, it'll have a number of candidates on it. Which that's gonna have to go out really soon. So the 23rd is right around the corner. No.
Which makes your counts.
No, they're in C1. C2. I think it's gonna be pretty exciting for us, you know, to work through this process and see how it comes out.
Good. So we got September 23rd, we'll start at 11:30.
Yeah, do you moderate it, we can read it?
There's also our one bill. We'll have all of it, will be all recorded, so there's also not.
Okay. And you said, and you and Tasha are both part of the actual planning committee, correct?
Yeah, there's a really good. I think
This is all done on campus. The actual final decision will be done with your 2 inputs and Canvas's input.
yeah, there's a large group.
Will there be anybody else here from UK?
I don't know for sure yet who's gonna be on Zoom with this person.
Okay.
I don't know. There will be others from the county involved who will watch the presentation. I just don't know if they'll like here or there. Not yet. Yeah.
All right, well, thanks, Rita.
No start lunch.
Yes, we will have lunch. Lunch will be,
Oh, that's food.
there will be lunch.
Like you're gonna fix us a good snack.
Yeah, but y'all be here and not eat.
Extension of food.
There's no food right now.
There isn't, you're right.
No food.
We did have BLTs for lunch today.
Yeah.
I made those from some bacon.
That sounds good.
Yeah, you brought tomatoes. What else is I supposed to
I
do?
like.
I brought a whole box of
Oh, yeah, I had to train myself how to love tomatoes. They're awful, but I like them now.
Maybe if I would have listened to yourself.
Do something with it.
All right, well, we'll move on to, the last item of unfinished business. If there's nothing else, one or two positions that are open and updates related to them. That would be the QuickBooks Online, uncleared checks and payments.
So we, when I say we, Sonera, myself, Ronnie, and the team at UK are working on getting all of those checks cleared back out and figuring out how we want to move forward with that. Kim, we did our, kind of end of year thing. We found that we had a lot of checks that hadn't cleared the bank. I say a lot of those checks that were on that list last month, really and truly were checks that had just been entered as journal entries, so most of those have been cleared out. So we're still working on that. Hopefully by the time we have everything in QBO with our CDs and money market account, we should have all of that worked through as well.
Good.
So still working very, very much. Sonera has been working very hard.
Okay.
And we have a new plan in place moving forward. So.
Good. Okay.
I have one more question about the positions.
Sure.
Okay, so once these are decided and all that, then does this board have to do anything at all regarding those positions?
Not really.
Okay,
No, the only thing that I said, noted here was that. Should there be no excellent candidates from this round, we can postpone until spring, but only if we have a board meeting to approve that.
okay. So we don't have to do anything after DK hires whoever they hire. Okay.
With your input.
Yes.
I mean, I hope all of you guys, I hope you can be here. I understand some of us have to work. You can watch the videos, the presentations later and give us that input. I mean, that's extremely helpful to us. That's a huge part of it.
Any other discussion on positions or uncleared checks before we move into new business? Okay. All right, we've got, one item, looks like, with a couple things here on new business. That would be increasing the credit limits on office credit cards.
Yes,
What are
so,
they currently?
so currently it's 15,000 on 5 cards. And there are times, I'm sure Lacey and Tyler can attest to this, there are times when those get maxed out. And that leaves the agents, and sometimes Barry, have to prepay for things out of their own pockets. And then wait to get reimbursed, which we don't like to do that, because it does tend to raise red flags in QBO. So this would give us technically $7,000 if we divided it all out among the 5 cards. But if one person didn't spend all of his or her funds, then if someone else needed to, they could, as long as we don't go at 35,000.
So you're saying there's 5,000 each on each card?
7,000.
Currently? Okay.
Currently.
Well, it doesn't really work like that
3,000.
anyway, first of all, it doesn't really, it's not like it's divided up on each card. It's just the limit, because we all have, all of our cards are on one account,
But
together.
each agent has a card?
Yeah, each agent has a card and Barry has a card.
Okay.
And so sometimes he might make a purchase for like one of the refrigerators in the snack room went out and had to buy a new refrigerator. And if we all make sort of large purchases, or buy a bunch of supplies or order marketing materials or something like that, it can run up pretty quickly, and we've maxed it out a couple times, and then they're all locked up for the rest of the month. So we're just, increasing the limit a little bit, so that doesn't happen as often. But we also just kind of plan a little bit better to not spend a whole lot in one month. But sometimes it happens that way, like end of the year, you spend the rest of your program support, or, then there's camp, and I usually buy a whole bunch of painting supplies and stuff and different things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
it's just to help us not max out our cards.
So you want to increase it from 15,000 to 35,000?
And we still go by the rule
I
of
just want to try and
like not more than $5,000, without board approval and stuff like that, like the rules are still the same.
Okay,
It's just so we can. All at once.
what was the question?
Well, this bonding insurance cover these guys.
And then I'll ask just, another question, I guess, is credit card what most merchants have done, the way of purchase for most things, or you do like POs or checks?
Sometimes. It depends on what it is, usually credit cards, going for my program, I don't know. Really yours.
Full time.
I usually order stuff on Amazon or
Yeah.
through, like I get my branded stuff from Halo, marketing and. Yeah, mostly card.
Okay.
But a big,
Mostly card, sometimes scenario credit check,
Yeah.
but mostly card.
a big purpose of purchase with the proper planning
Mhm.
would be
Yeah,
a check.
yeah, oh yeah, definitely something really big would be, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Any other,
I don't think they're asking to spend more money, I think they're just asking to be able to be flexible to spend the money they need to be spending. That's all. It's my understanding, at least.
So Mary wants to go buy a refrigerator and Heather wants to restock the kitchen. And just normal purchases,
Yeah.
we can plan those out. And
Yeah.
just have more freedom and flexibility.
I move to approve.
all right, motion's been made to expand the limit to 35,000, is there a second?
I will second.
Second by Ms. Keenum. Any further discussion on raising the limit? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to, increase the credit limit, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. All right, any other new business that we have for tonight, before we move into other items to discuss? Any other new business? Okay. Do we have any public comments for this meeting tonight? Okay,
Especially I'd like to make a little bit comment,
okay,
the investment in used sale was very well attended. And we got tremendous amount of compliments of having it here, and it was a perfect facility. One of the observations that I made was after they'd gone through the showroom and was selling for auction, every one of the pigs went, lay down on the floor and went to sleep. You know, they had big fans, and that was really nice night. They had fans going up there, and they were underneath one of the fans, and that, I didn't notice that any other times out. The pigs have always been up, making noise and moving around, and trying to escape and all that good stuff. I didn't see that deal.
good.
And I'm sure Trilly and Rita would, and Tyler would both say the same thing.
I heard it was a good night.
Really excellent.
Good. That's good to hear, I'm glad it went well.
I did, it was a good night.
That's good. Very good. Well, thanks, Barry. Any other comment?
No, I was wondering if we need a meeting for that. I mean, if we're not, geez, we don't have to vote or anything on two positions, then that don't require us to meet, so. When do we meet?
We have to meet to approve next year's nominations, don't we?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Danielle?
Don't we have to meet in December to approve whatever nominations are coming in next year? I feel like historically we had to do that.
They sent me the,
Yeah,
And then, so the county extension council meeting will be this fall to
right.
do the nominations.
Yeah, but I feel like every December we've had a meeting to like transition out and into the next one, or maybe it's January that is.
Last year said what we had to meet to approve it all.
Maybe that's what it was.
Which if we get that audit, because you all already said we could go ahead and start the audit. If we get that back, we could.
Well, I will not be here in December. Millie's surgery is November 19th, so I will be with her for probably the entire month of December at home. So not that that matters, y'all can operate with that one, but
So technically, we do have to be in January to
Okay.
members for sure.
So the first Monday in June.
Once it's not this.
I think the first Monday in January is pretty, like, first or second day.
It's the second. Yeah,
Go with a hard no.
everybody be clear.
Well, actually, the first Monday in January is the second.
Oh, I'm looking at December, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, that'd be fine. We'll be back in school by that point.
So if we get our
If we
audit,
stay with our current meeting schedule, yeah.
if we get the audit, we all can approve the audit. Since we get it, then we'll vote on Tuesday.
Sure.
Can it wait till January or do we need to?
I'm all for waiting, you know.
It can,
Well, you all up, if we don't, yeah.
it's, the audit's not due until June, in June.
Okay.
So you're.
If there are any issues with the horticulture and the county director position, please let us know so that we can meet and discuss at that point. Like if for some reason we're not hiring either of the candidate or if the other person or whatever, I'd like to be informed as a board if that's the case.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I don't see any need to meet for June.
I'm not.
Maybe not.
There we go. Oh, sure, okay.
Out of curiosity. Because you never know how anything can happen, okay? So obviously, if something happens, if something falls through with the county director, we're gonna put that one on the ballot for sure. I would assume if something falls through with the horticulture agent position, you would want to proceed with that one, I would think with the reposting.
I think a
Or
reposting once would be okay. I don't know if we can't get a qualified candidate within 2 postings of the position, then I think we should consider. But I think right now, there's no need to not do a second round of posting, should we not have a valid candidate.
What would another option be? Because I don't know.
I mean, we have to meet as a board to discuss that, you know?
Could it be,
We had approved to move forward with a horticulture position, we could always discuss not, I would be strongly against anything other than a horticulture position at this point, because I think it's needed in this community, but I mean, we can always discuss that, should we not have any candidates, you know?
can you hire a temporary agent in that, you
That
know,
was not a date.
say a retired person to come in and fill that position? Because you're probably not gonna get any other applicants or very many until somebody graduates from college. You pay intern cost.
But we're all, like, if you think about it too, if we don't get through the candidate pool until October, then we repost it again, then you're looking at December's graduates. So that would be a good time
Well,
to
see, I would think those people would be applying in October.
yeah, if we get the second candidate pool.
As long as you guys are okay with our reposting that.
I think we post it once and no further, and then we meet to discuss from there.
This is only been, this is the first time it's been posted, correct?
And I'm not saying anything's gonna happen with it, I'm just saying if.
Yeah, I will be in favor of it being reposted. So I think that's a valuable position in Boyle County.
I was do.
I will agree with you all.
The growers will be making plans for next year immediately after Christmas.
Yes, even in December. Yeah, we order a lot of seed in December for, even for the veggie side, so.
Let's just be honest, it's really hard to go
This winter.
Yeah, it would be, if we could get somebody, fruit vegetable company, it would be a good deal.
Hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed that day.
Barry, I heard that you motioned to adjourn. Is that correct?
No,
Make that
Oh,
down.
I'm sorry, we were all talking at once.
You
Sorry.
said it didn't hurt. Well, I can't.
I was not interrupting you, I was trying to make sure I had it correct in the notes, because clearly I didn't.
All right, well, and all those in favor, we got a motion then to adjourn. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you all. You all been ready? What's
So I
that?
got a suggestion that I will put out there in case our county director and the whole concern doesn't come through. Danny could be our director and Spencer could be our board.
Looks like we have to have 2 new board members if that happens.
Well, I think
It's kind of hard to find agents these days.
Olivia, did you, get those to me? Email them to me, 'cause I can't.
I certainly
read this.